Chapter 8 Laws Regulating Accommodations Establishments. Learning Objectives. Identify the laws affecting the accommodation sector. Identify the rights of hotel guests. Explain how quality and safety standards are maintained by hotels and similar establishments by meeting minimum requirements of the law. Nature and description of the business. The law. Hotel is a building, edifice, premises, or a completely independent part thereof which is used for the regular reception, accommodation, or lodging of travelers and tourists and provision of services incidental thereto for a fee. But simply, the hotel industry is the section of the service industry that deals with guest accommodations or lodgings, resorts, any place or places with pleasant environment and atmosphere, conducive to comfort, helpful relaxation, and rest, offering food, sleeping accommodations, and facilities to the public for a fee or remuneration. Resorts are commercial establishments usually consisting of a hotel and a variety of on-site services and amenities. Guests will usually have access to lodgings, restaurants, bars, entertainment options, recreational activities, and shops, which can all be accessed without leaving the premises. Tourist Inn, a lodging establishment catering to transcend which that meet the minimum requirements of an economy hotel. It often smaller and more intimate than a hotel, offering a cozy and sometimes more personalized experience for guests. Tourist Inn may offer amenities such as breakfast, Wi-Fi, and local information to help guests make the most of their stay. Apartel, any building or edifice containing several independent and furnished or semi-furnished apartments regularly released to tourists and travelers for a dwelling on a more or less long-term basis and offering basic services to its tenants but with amenities commonly found in apartments such as kitchen facilities and living areas. It provides guests with the flexibility of an apartment living combined with the convenience and the services of a hotel. Nature and description of the business. The law. Pension house. Operated tourist boarding house, tourist guest house, or tourist lodging house employing non-professional domestic helpers regularly catering to tourists and travelers. Motorist hotel. Any place or places with pleasant environment and adaptive to comfort, healthful relaxation and rest, offering food, sleeping accommodations, and recreation facilities to the public for a fee or remuneration. These establishments typically offer convenient amenities such as parking directly adjacent to the rooms or cabins, making it easy for guests to access their vehicles. Motorist hotels often provide basic lodging facilities, including rooms with easy access from the parking area, making them suitable for travelers seeking a convenient stopover during road trips or long drives. Following rules, laws, and regulations are vital in enforcing the National Building Code of the Philippines to wit: First, Code on Sanitation of the Philippines, Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2002, Fire Code of the Philippines, Philippine Environmental Code, Envi- 6. Rules and regulations to govern the accreditation to hotels, tourist inn, apparels, resort, pension house, and other accommodation establishment by the Department of Tourism. 7. The law to enhance mobility of disabled persons and its implementing rules and regulations. The law, Section 104 General Building Requirements All building structure as well as accessory thereto shall conform in all respects to the principle of safe construction and must be suited to the purpose for which they are designed. Building or structures intended to be used for the manufacture and/or any kind of particles or product shall be observed environmental safeguards. Building or structures and all parts thereof, as well as all facilities found therein, shall be maintained in safe, sanitary, and good working conditions. The law, Section 105, Site Requirements. The land or site upon which will be constructed any building or structure or any ancillary or auxiliary facility thereto shall be sanitary, hygienic, or safe in case of sites or buildings intended for use as a human habitation or abode. The same shall be at a safe distance as determined by competent authorities from streams or bodies of water and/or sources of air considered to be polluted from volcano or volcanic site and/or any other building considered to be a potential source of fire or explosion. Responsibilities of accommodation establishments. Accommodation establishment must exercise due diligence not only in the selection of its employees but also in serving the needs of its customers. Failure to do so warrants the conclusion that the management had been remiss in complying with the obligations imposed upon hotel keepers or under the law. Light and ventilation. The law, Article 801, General Requirements of Lights and Ventilation. Subject to the provisions of the Civil Code of the Philippines on easements of light and view, and to the provisions of its part of the code, every building shall be designed, constructed, and equipped to provide adequate light and ventilation. All buildings shall face a street or public alley or private street which has been duly approved. Article 806, Size and Dimension of Rooms. Rooms for human habitation, 6 square meters with at least dimension of 2. Kitchens, 3 square meters with at least a dimension of 1.50 meters. Bath and toilet, 1.20 square meters with at least a dimension of 0.90 meters. Article 807, Airspace Requirements in determining the size rooms. Minimum airspace shall be provided as follows. School rooms, 3 cubic meters with 1 square meters of floor area per person. Workshops, factories, and offices, 12 cubic meters of airspace per person. Habitable rooms, 14 cubic meters of airspace per person. Article 808, Window Openings. Every room intended for any use not provided with artificial ventilation system as herein specified in this code shall be provided with a window or windows with a total free area of openings equal to at least 10% of the floor area of room, and such window shall open directly to a courtyard, public street or alley, or open water courses. Article 811, Artificial Ventilation. Rooms or spaces housing industrial or heating equipment shall provide with artificial means of ventilation to prevent excessive accumulation of hot and or polluted air. Section 301 of the National Building Code provides that any person, firm, or corporation, agency, or instrumentality of the government who will construct, alter, repair, use, occupy, convert, move, or demolish any building or structure or cause the same to be done is required to obtain a building permit, first from the office of the building official assigned in that place where the building or structure is located. Section 302, Application for Permits. In order to obtain a building permit, the applicant shall file an application therefore in writing and on the prescribed form from the office of the building official. Every application shall provide at least the following information:
A description of the work to be covered by the permit applied for. Certified true copy of TCT covering the lot on which the proposed work is to be done if the applicant is not the registered owner. In addition to the TCT, a copy of the contract of lease shall be submitted. The use or occupancy for which the proposal work is intended. Estimated cost of the proposed work to be submitted together with such application are at least 5 sets of corresponding plans and specifications prepared, signed and sealed by a duly mechanical engineer in case of mechanical plans and by a registered electrical engineer in case of electrical plans, except in those cases exempted or not required by the building official under this code. General requirements of all buildings by use or occupancy. Section 704, Location and Property. General, no building shall be constructed unless it adjoins or has direct access to a public space, yard or streets on at least one of its sides. Fire resistance of walls. Exterior walls shall have fire resistance and opening protections. General design and construction requirements. DOT Memorandum Circular Number 2006-9 Series of 2006. Adoption of safety and security measures in hotels, resorts, and other similar accommodations establishments.